Share issuance and treasury shares. So in this video, we are going to talk about share issuances, may it be in exchange of cash, property, or service, and our treasury shares. So problem number 1 is about Rawa Corporation. So you could pause the video if you want to read the whole problem first before we proceed to the answers. So first, we are required to prepare journal entries assuming that the ordinary shares has a par value of 100 peso. So we have here, I already prepared this pro forma entries. So February 12, you have there sold 1,000 shares for 100,000 cash. So credit cash for 100,000 and then debit ordinary shares, that's 1,000. And assuming that the par value is 100, we are going to record our ordinary shares always at par. And that is 1,000 times 100. Walang difference. Pareho lang din naman siya. So, wala tayong excess na i-record. Let's try July 10 transaction. Sold 5,000 shares for 630. So, again, we credit cash 630,000. And then, we debit ordinary shares. We credit ordinary shares for, ilan daw yun? 5,000 shares. 5,000 shares, always at par, and that is 5,000 times 100, 500,000. If you could notice, mas malaki yung binigay compared sa binigay nila sa atin compared sa binigay natin sa kanila. So the difference of 130,000 is now recorded to this account called share premium ordinary ordinary shares. Okay, it's the excess. And then lastly, for November 5, we sold 75 shares for 1050. Again, we debit cash, that's for 1050 million, and we credit ordinary shares, 75 shares sold at 100 par, therefore we credit it at 750. Again, there is a difference of 300,000 which will again go to our share premium ordinary shares, the excess of par. Okay, so that is assumption number 1, assuming that the par is 100. Now let's try to solve if assuming that our stated value is 10. So if you could notice, stated value na yung sinabi niya, hindi na par. So question, ma'am, are we going to record the ordinary shares at stated value? The revised corporation code says that if walang par, i-record mo yun lahat sa ordinary shares. But alternatively, pwede mo siyang i-record at stated value, si ordinary shares, and the excess will go to the share premium. And what do I mean by that? That's again debit cash of 100,000 for February 12, credit ordinary shares, that was 1,000 shares, right? Times 10 peso na stated value, and that is 10,000. Okay, ang laki ng excess, 90,000, and that will go to our share premium ordinary shares. This is the alternative approach. Revised corporation code says, pwede daw ganito, cash, credit, ordinary shares, all for 100,000. So kung pila ang imuhang na-receive, mauna po dayon na ang i-credit sa ordinary shares as a whole. Huwag mo nang i-split. Yun yung sabi ni revised code. Pero sabi niya alternatively, pwede daw na ganito. So in this problem, we are going to use the alternative approach. Okay? On July 10, we received cash in the amount of 630,000. Again, this is in exchange of our ordinary shares na 5,000 with a stated value of 10. So that is 50,000. Tama ba 630 dito? Oh, okay. 5,000 shares. Ang laki ng excess pa rin. 630 minus 50, that's 580 share premium ordinary shares. Lastly, we have 1050 in exchange of ordinary shares na 7,500 again at 10 peso stated value, and that is 75,000. And the excess will go to share premium ordinary. Dagko kaayong share premium, no? Ingana na gyud siguro ka stable ang company na kaya naman mo bayad ang shareholders og 1 million maski ang par 75,000 lang. Okay, so that's our assumption number 2. Now, how about assumption number 3? Walang par, wala pang stated value. So, wala ka ng option kundi i-credit lahat sa ordinary shares. Walang share premium. Kasi wala tayong magiging basis kung saan i-record si share premium. Okay? And then, or ordinary share. The same goes with this transaction on July 10. 6:30 ang nadawat. 6:30 po ang i-record. And then, on November 5, the same, although the amount is 10.50 million. 1.05 million. Okay? So, kung ang atong gamiton sa ang katong revised corporation code na giingon, kanipod unta ato ang entry for this transaction, this assumption. Okay? Diba? Kita ninyo, the same lang siya. Lahat will go to the ordinary shares. Pero gihatagan tag alternative din whereas dire, wala na gyud tay way out. We have no alternative kasi wala din siyang stated value. Okay, so that is problem number 1 for share issuance for cash. Now, let's proceed to problem number 9. Share issuance pa rin naman. Kaya lang, later on, we will, what's new about this is, meron siyang preference share, and then meron din siyang cumulative. So if you want to read the whole problem before proceeding to the answer, you could just pause the video. First, we are required to prepare journal entries. Okay, journal entries. First, January 1, authorize the issuance of 2 million shares and 100 shares of preference shares. Now, this transaction is actually non-recordable event under the memorandum entry method. A recap, journal entry method, nagre-record tayo ng debit, unissued authorized shares, credit authorized ordinary shares, unissued ordinary shares, then credit authorized ordinary shares. But under the memorandum entry method, wala tayong ginagawang entry. Instead, we just prepare a memorandum. Okay, and again, we are going to use memorandum entry for the rest of the discussion. So on January 1, we will have to prepare this memorandum lang. The corporation was authorized to issue 10 million ordinary shares, etc. Okay? Just read and just familiarize kung anong magiging content ng memorandum entry. Now, let's proceed to January 2. Issued 200,000 shares for 12 pesos. 200,000 ordinary shares for 12 pesos, and that is 2.4 million. And then credit ordinary shares 200,000, but the par value is just 5 pesos, right? So we are going to record it at par, which is 1 million. The excess of 1.4 million will go to share premium ordinary shares. Okay, next, issued 100,000 shares of ordinary in exchange of building and inventory. We received such asset, building and inventory. Ang amount, 820 and 380. Tama ba? 820 and 380 in exchange of 100,000 ordinary shares. So, copy ko na lang to ha, para mas madali. Edit lang natin kasi 100,000 lang. Therefore, credit it at 500. This building ang na-receive and inventory. So, ang total niyan, I guess that's 1.2 minus 500 for the ordinary shares. You have 700,000 for your share premium. Now, on January 4, you paid 10,000 cash to the corporation's founders. Unsa gani ato ang i-record basta ang expense is in line with the moment na gi-form pa lang ang corporation. Okay? Expenses incurred upon formation of the corporation will go to our organizational expense, which is an expense. And we paid, according to the problem, we paid 10,000 cash. 10,000. Next, January 5. Issued 12,000 shares of preference, okay, hindi na ordinary, for 110 cash per share. So again, cash, ilan daw yun? 12,000 times 110. And that is 1.32 million, but we are going to record this on preference shares at par. And the par of our preference share is just 100. So mag-expect na sa taani o share premium. Tama. In the amount of 120. So that's actually 12,000 times 10 pesos. Kasi 110 minus 100. So that's share premium. Ang ikog karon, preference shares. Now, we're done on 2018 transactions. Let's go to 2019. Issued 100,000 shares for OS. Cash, 100. Pila daw itong pagkabaligya? 15. Okay. Tingnan natin. Yes. And then, again, we received the ordinary shares. We issued ordinary shares for 5 pesos na par value. And we are expecting a share premium kasi 15 and then 5 lang tato, 100. Excess of 1 million. Okay, there you go. 2018 and 2019 entries. Requirement number 2, prepare the capital section, the share capital section. Asan naman to? As of December 31 and December 31, 2019. So I have here, first, sa ganitong components sa ito ang shareholders equity section, preference shares at par, share premium preference, ordinary shares at par, share premium ordinary, subscribed OS or subscribed PS at par, minus subscriptions receivable, minus treasury stocks. So in this problem, ito lang yung meron tayo. Wala pa tayong treasury transactions. So first, we have preference shares. We issued 12,000 shares times 100. So we have, okay. So we have 1.2 million at par. Tingnan natin kung 1.2 ba ang nasa entries natin. We only have one transaction for preference and it is this transaction. And I will make this bold para malaman na natin na ato na siyang na-appeal sa she section 1.2. Next, share premium for preference, and I guess isa lang din yun here. Ayan. Okay. And then the total of this is, I guess it is 1.32. Alright, 1.32 million. Next, ordinary shares, 2,400,000 authorized. Hindi po siya 400. 300 pa lang. Kasi 2018 pa tayo. 2018, aral lang ato ang gihatag. 200 plus 100. Kaning isa ka 100, 2019 pa na. So, we only have 300,000 shares issued and authorized, and that is 1.5 million. Let's try to look at it. We have 1 million plus 500,000. Wala na pong iba. Again, yung isa, 2019 pa. So, 1.5 according to our journal entry. How about our share premium? So, let's add 1.4 here and this another 700 here. Wala nang iba. Ito, preference yan. Okay, so we have 2.1. Therefore, we have 3.6. And our total paid in capital as of December 31, 2018, we have 4.92 million. Now, let's proceed to our shareholders' capital for 2019. Again, we will begin at the preference share. And this time, isa mo rin yun gihapon to siya. Isa rin yun kabukat tong transaction kanira. So, 1,200 and 120. Again, that's a total of 1,320 million. How about our ordinary shares? This is the time na 400 na siya. Kay apil naman ang kaning 100 din hiya. So that is 1.5 at the end of 2018 plus 500 for June 2019 transaction. I guess 1.5 plus 500, that's 2 million. Eto. And then our share premium, this is our share premium at the end of at the end of 2018. Tapos let's just add this transaction in 2019. Therefore, our share premium is 3.1 million, a total of 5.1 paid in capital for ordinary shares, and total paid in capital as of 12/31/2019 is 6.42 million. Alright, we're done. Number 3, prepare a table showing dividend allocations and dividends per share for 2018 and 2019. Okay, dividends. Are we going to discuss it here? Maybe later, okay? Kasi on lesson 3, we are going to discuss dividends. So later na lang nato ni i-answer. Kasi sabi niya din, accomplish this after studying chapter 7, which is actually the lesson or the chapter that talks about dividends. So let's just proceed to number 4. Prepare, asa na to? Prepare the January 2, 2018 journal entry for the issuance of 200,000 shares for 12 peso cash per share, assuming, okay, by January 2. Okay, kaning first transaction. Assuming that the ordinary shares is no par without a stated value. Wala nang par, wala pang stated value, therefore, everything will go to ordinary shares. Pila ganito? 200,000 times 12. Next, assuming that ordinary shares is no par with a stated value of stated value of 10 pesos. Ganun pa rin. Cash, ordinary. But this time, na siya stated value, right? So, a cash of 200 times 12, pero na siya stated value nga 10 pesos. Therefore, 2 million will go to our ordinary shares account, and then the 400 will go to our share premium ordinary shares. Okay, so that is how we account again shares without par but with a stated value. Okay, so maybe we will just end our video here, and then next problem we will talk about treasury shares, and we will also answer this comprehensive problem which includes issuances of shares and treasury shares. So just tune in and watch the next video.